Hello, and welcome to the Endocrine Society's recognition of the 2020 Laureate Award recipients. My name is Janet Hall, and I have the honor of being chair of the Endocrine Society's Laureate Awards Committee and recognizing the recipients of the 2020 Laureate Awards. Due to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and the abbreviated ENDO Online 2020 program last June, the Endocrine Society was not able to give the achievements of the Society's 2020 Laureate Award recipients the recognition they so richly deserve. Today, I would like to take time to honor the dedication and commitment of these distinguished endocrinologists. The 2020 Laureate Awards recognize endocrinologists for their seminal research, meritorious service, leadership, mentorship, innovation, international contribution, education, translation of science to practice, and lifetime achievement. We begin today by recognizing the Endocrine Society's most prestigious award. The Fred Conrad Koch Lifetime Achievement Award is the Society's highest honor, recognizing lifetime achievements and exceptional contributions to the field of endocrinology. The recipient of the 2020 Koch Lifetime Achievement Award is Dr. Richard Santon, professor of medicine at the University of Virginia and a past president of the Endocrine Society. Dr. Santon's impressive clinical and research career has focused on both prostate and breast cancer. His research uncovered the role of hormones in breast cancer and pioneered the development of aromatase inhibitors, which now play a central role in the armamentarium of treatments for many women with breast cancer. Dr. Santon's expertise in estrogens also led to his strong interest in the treatment of menopause and to his selection by the Endocrine Society to write a definitive scientific statement on this topic. Congratulations, Dr. Santon, on being awarded the Koch Lifetime Achievement Award. And thank you to citators, Drs. Robert Carey and Lawrence Demers.
This award by the Endocrine Society represents the pinnacle of my career, and I am most appreciative. My acceptance of this award gives me the opportunity to share with young endocrinologists the lessons that I have learned about what is important. Excellent mentorship, seeking advice from experts wherever they may be, perseverance, a scrupulous level of honesty, curiosity, developing successful collaborations, hard work, a sense of humor as an antidote to adversity, courage of your convictions. 2 steps forward and 1 back still yields progress. Putting your patients first, and most importantly, a high dose of luck. Remember that your most valued asset is your family, and an appropriate balance between family life and work is essential. Take these principles to heart, and your career will be most satisfying.
Presented in recognition of outstanding research that accelerates the translation of scientific discoveries to clinical applications, the 2020 recipient of the Gerald D. Auerbach Award for Outstanding Translational Research is Dr. Donald McDonnell, the Glaxo Wellcome Distinguished Professor of Molecular Cancer Biology at Duke University School of Medicine. As chair of the Department of Pharmacology and Cancer Biology at Duke, Dr. McDonnell has made major contributions to the understanding of the molecular basis of the action of nuclear receptor ligands. His work has been foundational for the development of a new generation of nuclear receptor targeting drugs for the treatment of hormone-dependent cancers and metabolic disease. Congratulations to Dr. McDonnell, whose accomplishments have had lasting translational impact on clinical care.
I'd like to thank the Endocrine Society and the Laureates Award Committee in particular for bestowing upon me the honor of the 2020 Gerald D. Auerbach Award for Outstanding Translational Research. I've been a member of the Endocrine Society for over 30 years, and really I'm honored to receive this award from my colleagues. I want to take this opportunity, however, to give a special note of thanks to my citator, Dr. Bert O'Malley. I was one of Bert's graduate students and a postdoc, and Bert really taught me the importance of fundamental research as an underpinning of a translational research program. And finally, I'd like to thank all the students, the fellows, and the scientists who have worked with me for over the last 30 years in our efforts to develop new drugs to target the estrogen, progestin, and androgen receptor. This award also speaks to their successes and the collaborations that we all have worked together over the last 30 years. Thank you again for this award. It is truly appreciated.
The International Excellence in Endocrinology Award is presented to an endocrinologist who's made exceptional contributions to the field of endocrinology in geographic areas with underdeveloped resources for hormone health research, education, clinical practice, or administration. The recipient of the 2020 International Excellence in Endocrinology Award is Professor Roy Shires, Professor of Medicine at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the first head of the Division of Endocrinology at Chris Hani Baragwanath Academic Hospital, where he has served the impoverished and underprivileged population of Soweto. Professor Shires is acknowledged as an inspiring mentor by students, postgraduates, and fellows. Despite limited resources, Professor Shires has also performed meaningful clinical research and most recently initiated the first program to manage transgender patients in this population. Congratulations, Professor Shires.
I'm speaking from the Adler Museum of Medicine at the University of the Witwatersrand Medical School, and it is my great pleasure to receive the Society's 2020 Award for International Excellence in Endocrinology. I would like to give special thanks to my citator, Dr. Nazir Mohammed. By way of background, I joined the staff at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital in 1986. This is the largest teaching hospital affiliated to the University of the Witwatersrand. It is also the largest hospital in the Southern Hemisphere. My main interests within endocrinology are in bone and mineral metabolism, but most recently, to fill a growing need, I initiated a program for transgender patients at Baragwanath Hospital within the Division of Endocrinology and Metabolism. Before concluding, I would just like to say that this award given to me also recognizes the many wonderful people that I work with in the Division of Endocrinology and Metabolism at Baragwanath Hospital. And I'm also looking forward to the day when we will soon be able to meet again and enjoy the excitement of an endocrinology meeting of the Endocrine Society.
The Outstanding Clinical Investigator Award is presented to an internationally recognized clinical investigator who has contributed significantly to understanding the pathogenesis and therapy of endocrine and metabolic diseases. The 2020 recipient of the Outstanding Clinical Investigator Award is Professor Griet Vandenberg, head of the Department and Laboratory of Intensive Care Medicine and Professor of Medicine at the Catholic University of Leuven in Flanders, Belgium. Professor Vandenberg has made critical contributions in many areas of critical care medicine, diabetes, and endocrinology. Her contributions to understanding the role of glucose control and other endocrinologic changes in critically ill patients have led to innovative programs and improved treatment, including her seminal role in revolutionizing the care of such patients with her demonstration of the critical importance of glycemic control in improving outcomes. Congratulations to Professor Vandenberg on a remarkable scientific career, and thank you to citators Dr. Guillermo Ompierrez and Mark Molich.
Hi, my name is Griet Vandenberg from the KU Leuven University in Belgium. Being granted this Outstanding Clinical Investigator Award from the Endocrine Society really came as a total surprise to me. I could hardly believe it when I got the news. I'm very grateful for the nomination. Thank you to the nominator. And I also want to thank my wonderful team, because without them, this would not have been possible. I do owe a lot to the Endocrine Society for their annual meetings, which for me have generated fruitful collaborations and long-lasting friendships. So thank you all again for this great honor. Thank you.
The Outstanding Educator Award is presented in recognition of exceptional achievement as an educator in the discipline of endocrinology and metabolism. The recipient of the 2020 Outstanding Educator Award is Dr. Al Powers. As director of the Vanderbilt Medical Student Research Training Program and founder and director of a related NIDDK program, Dr. Powers' efforts have allowed more than 1,000 medical students from over 80 U.S. medical schools to conduct mentored diabetes and metabolic-related research, fostering the development of young physician scientists with an interest in endocrinology. I'd like to thank citators, Drs. Stephen Kahn and Mitch Lazar, and congratulations once again to Dr. Powers.
I wanted to thank the Laureate Awards Committee, chaired by Chris Glass and Janet Hall, for recognizing our efforts on behalf of educating medical students about the importance of research and interesting them in careers as physician scientists. This has really been a team effort, and I accept this award on behalf of a number of individuals and entities who have worked so hard for more than 30 years to interest medical students in research. These include the NIDDK, who supported this effort with training grants, especially Art Castle and Jim Hyde. I also would like to thank the NIDDK-supported diabetes research centers throughout the country who have hosted these students and allowed them to work in their research laboratories. And the directors of those diabetes research centers have been especially important in fostering this collaboration. I'd also like to thank the advisory panel of our program, which includes Lou Phillipson, Mary Elizabeth Platty, Mike Rickles, and Stephen Kahn. And most importantly, I'd like to thank the mentors for the more than 1,000 medical students who have participated in this program, because without them, the students wouldn't have had such an outstanding experience. And finally, I'd like to thank my colleagues at Vanderbilt, including Oscar Crawford, who started this program more than 40 years ago, and my current colleague, John Stafford, who oversees the Vanderbilt program and is so influential in the NIDDK sponsored program. So thank you for this recognition of the efforts of these many individuals.
The Outstanding Innovation Award recognizes endocrinologists who've demonstrated innovation and entrepreneurship to further endocrine research or practice in support of the field of endocrinology, patients, and society at large. The recipient of the 2020 Outstanding Innovation Award is Dr. Christopher Newgard, whose professional career has been devoted to metabolic research. As director of the Sarah W. Stedman Nutrition and Metabolism Center and the Duke Molecular Physiology Institute, Dr. Newgard has developed a suite of comprehensive molecular profiling platforms across the omics sciences to support the work of his own lab and numerous others at Duke and other institutions. Dr. Newgard leverages these platforms to gain a deeper understanding of dysregulated metabolic function in cardiometabolic diseases, including obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular, and kidney diseases. He's developed one of the most active and collaborative metabolomics labs in the world and has a major interest and extensive track record in research on pancreatic islet biology. Congratulations, Dr. Newgard, on this well-deserved recognition.
I'm honored to accept the 2019 Endocrine Society Innovator Award. I want to give special thanks to two of my late mentors, Drs. Roger Unger and Dennis McGarry, who trained me in endocrine and metabolic research. I also want to thank Bert O'Malley for nominating me for this award. Our groups had quite a run of exciting collaborative studies and papers in the time frame of 2008 to 2015. And anyone who knows Bert knows that it wasn't just exciting science, but also a hell of a lot of fun. I understand that I'm receiving this honor because I was among the first to apply metabolomics technologies to endocrine and metabolic disease research. As such, I want to close with acknowledgement of a group of colleagues who have made the metabolomics lab at the Duke Molecular Physiology Institute among the most productive in the world. And you saw their pictures earlier. Doctors Paul Grimsrud, Guofang Zhang, Scott Crown, James Bain, Bob Stevens, Olga Ilkieva, and Mike Muehlbauer. My heartfelt appreciation to them all.
The Outstanding Leadership in Endocrinology Award recognizes outstanding leadership in fundamental or clinical endocrinology. The 2020 recipient of the Outstanding Leadership in Endocrinology Award is Dr. John C. Marshall, the Andrew D. Hart Professor of Medical Science at the University of Virginia, where he was appointed director for the Center of Research in Reproduction in 1996. A world-renowned and highly innovative reproductive endocrinologist, Dr. Marshall has made seminal contributions in both fundamental and clinical research, focusing on the regulation of gonadotropin secretion at a fundamental level and in complex reproductive disorders like polycystic ovarian syndrome. Dr. Marshall has contributed extensively to education, directing NIH training grants for over 30 years and training numerous NDs and PhDs, many of whom have gone on to their own stellar academic careers in research. He has served as editor of Endocrinology and as secretary-treasurer of the Endocrine Society, and is a former recipient of the Outstanding Clinical Investigator Award. In recognition of his innovative contributions and leadership, congratulations to Dr. John Marshall, and thank you to citators Drs. Robert Carey and Andrea Deneath.
Well, first I'd like to thank the Endocrine Society and the Awards Committee for this award, which is greatly appreciated. In accepting the award, I'd like to recognize my own mentors, the Hammersmith Hospital in London, Harvard General Hospital at UCLA, and the University of Michigan for their many guidance and advices over the years. And I'm cognizant that many of our own contributions have been the result of team efforts. I'd like to say a special thank you to the many faculty, and particularly to the fellows, whose efforts were essential to a successful completion. And finally, but by no means least, I'd like to say thank you to my spouse, Marilyn, who for the past 50 years has taken care of pretty much all the family issues and allowed me to pursue a career in endocrinology. I thank you all.
The Outstanding Mentor Award recognizes a career committed to mentoring, having a significant and positive impact on mentees' education and career. The recipient of the 2020 Outstanding Mentor Award is Professor Ashley Grossman. As professor of endocrinology and a fellow of Green Templeton College at the University of Oxford and professor of neuroendocrinology at Barts and the London School of Medicine, Professor Grossman has trained an enormous number of endocrinologists who have become leaders in endocrinology in Europe and around the world. With his unique ability to combine superb clinical knowledge and many years of patient-related experiences with up-to-date detailed knowledge of basic science, Professor Grossman has enthusiastically transferred his love of academic and clinical endocrinology to his young colleagues. In so doing, he has paid particular attention to providing support to underprivileged fellows and physicians from Asia and Africa, and has set up annual training sessions for a new generation of endocrinologists in Central Asia. Congratulations to Professor Grossman on this significant honor.
Thank you very much. I'm really very grateful and considerably honored to have been given this award by the Endocrine Society. I'm just saddened, of course, that I cannot actually be with you. My sponsor for this is Marta Corbinitz, and she first joined us many years ago, really just on a part-time basis while she was in the UK. And it's been an absolute delight to watch her move up the ranks and now become one of the foremost leaders in the world of neuroendocrinology, just like many other of my students and colleagues who over the years have given me enthusiasm and excitement to watch them develop and change, and then go back to their own countries, such as Sri Lanka, India, China, Brazil, many parts of Europe, Australia, lots of countries, and then to go into very senior positions. It's almost as though they're my academic children, and the collegiality has been wonderful. So thank you for a great life, all of my friends and colleagues throughout the world, and thank you for this opportunity to thank you all.
The Outstanding Scholarly Physician Award is presented in recognition of outstanding contributions to the practice of clinical endocrinology in academic settings. The recipient of the 2020 Outstanding Scholarly Physician Award is Dr. R. Michael Tuttle, Professor of Medicine at Cornell University and Clinical Director of the Endocrine Service at Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital. Dr. Tuttle is a leading clinician investigator in the study of radiation-induced thyroid cancer and in advanced thyroid cancer. His work has shifted the paradigm in differentiated thyroid cancer treatment. He remains at the forefront in identifying driver mutations for differentiated thyroid cancer and exploring these pathways with multi-kinase inhibitors for treatment of radioiodine-resistant differentiated thyroid cancer. Dr. Tuttle leads expert panels to develop treatment guidelines for differentiated thyroid cancer and serves as a mentor to many young clinicians. Our congratulations to Dr. Michael Tuttle.
Thank you very much. This is really quite an honor. A special thank you to the Laureate Awards Committee and all the work for working through the process of doing this, and to my great colleagues, collaborators, and friends, Dr. Matthew Ringel and Gary Francis, who nominated me for this award. I've had the incredible benefit during the course of my career to benefit from some amazing mentors. During my time in the Army with Dr. Mazzaferri, Dr. Wartowski, and Dr. Berman, and then amazingly the last 20 years at Memorial with Dr. Rich Robbins and Jim Fagan, Ashok Shah, Steve Larson, and Jayden Shah. Really a phenomenal group of people to work with. I can't thank my wife and family enough because we all know how much time we spend away from the hospital. I'll reflect back and think about the time when I was learning from Dr. Mazzaferri. It was about first year of my fellowship. And he told me if I would be quiet and just listen, my patients would actually teach me a lot. So despite me struggling to stay quiet, my patients, colleagues, and friends have actually taught me a lot over the last 20 or 25 years. And in fact, they're the real reason that I'm able to humbly accept this fantastic Laureate Award. Thank you.
The Richard E. Weitzman Outstanding Early Career Investigator Award is presented annually to an exceptionally promising young clinical or basic investigator under the age of 50 based upon the contributions and achievement of the recipient's body of work. The recipient of the 2020 Richard E. Weitzman Award is Dr. Andrew Dauber, who is Chief of Endocrinology at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. Dr. Dauber is an exceptional clinical scientist who has successfully applied innovative genetic technologies to pediatric endocrinology and has made major contributions to our understanding of the regulation of growth and puberty. Dr. Dauber combines true patient-oriented research in human genetics with follow-up translational investigation. Among other discoveries is the first human mutation in McCoran-3, using whole exome sequencing in families with central precocious puberty. Mutations in McCoran-3 have since been confirmed as the most frequent genetic cause of precocious puberty worldwide. Congratulations, Dr. Dauber, on a distinguished and highly productive career.
Thank the Endocrine Society for this great honor. It was really unexpected and really quite a pleasure. The Endocrine Society has really been a professional home for me. I'd especially like to thank Professor Arnholz for the nomination. It has been such a joy in my career to be able to collaborate with scientists around the world. And it's really been great to learn from them and get to work with people of such great strengths and backgrounds. And finally, I'd like to thank my mentors, Joel Hirschhorn and Ron Rosenfeld, who have just really been so instrumental in helping me to launch my research career. So thank you again to all of those people and to the Endocrine Society. And I look forward to working with many collaborators in the future.
The SIDNEY H. INGBAR Distinguished Service Award recognizes distinguished service to the Endocrine Society and the field of endocrinology. The recipient of the 2020 SIDNEY H. INGBAR Distinguished Service Award is Dr. Carol Lang. Dr. Lang is a professor of medicine and pharmacology and holds the Tickle Family Land Grant Endowed Chair of Breast Cancer Research at the University of Minnesota. She is a former vice president for basic science for the Endocrine Society and currently serves as editor-in-chief of endocrinology. Dr. Lang joined the Endocrine Society in 1996 and has attended every annual meeting since. She advocated for outstanding basic science research program in her role as basic science chair of the annual meeting steering committee and was instrumental in helping to create the first basic science program track for the annual meeting trainee day, which has become an endo mainstay. Congratulations to Dr. Lang on her remarkable record of service and commitment to the Endocrine Society.
Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled and honored to be recognized by this award of the 2020 SIDNEY INGBAR Laureate Award for distinguished service to the field of endocrinology. I want to thank everyone who has worked with me to help make the Endocrine Society a vibrant professional home that embraces our unique tripartite structure. Over my 25 years of membership, I have treasured meeting old friends and finding new ones. In service to our field, I have tried to strengthen our collegial ties and promote our trainees in a fun, inclusive, and supportive environment, both through society committee work and by participation in our annual meetings. My strong advice to our trainees is lean in and have a blast. In closing, thank you to Dr. Carol Sartorius and all of my colleagues in the nuclear receptor field, including my fierce friends, and the Society publications and other professional staff who are always a delight to work with. I look forward to seeing all of you in person as soon as we are able. Stay safe and be well.
The Vygorsky Outstanding Clinical Practitioner Award recognizes extraordinary contributions by a practicing endocrinologist to the endocrine and/or medical community. The recipient of the 2020 Vygorsky Outstanding Clinical Practitioner Award is Dr. Peter Singer, professor of clinical medicine at the Keck School of Medicine at USC in Los Angeles. Dr. Singer has had an enormous impact on improving the care of patients with endocrine diseases through his exceptional support of community physicians and his model as a teacher and mentor of medical students, house officers, and endocrine fellows. As one of the country's most knowledgeable and dedicated thyroidologists, Dr. Singer developed his first scientific and clinical thyroid symposium in 1978. Which continues annually to this day after more than 40 years. Through his work, Dr. Singer has demonstrated that a physician's role in helping others and improving health is not limited to the clinic or hospital, but extend beyond borders and cultures. Our congratulations to Dr. Peter Singer on this well-deserved honor.
First of all, I wish to thank Jorge Messman, my colleague in practice for more than 40 years, my mentor, and most of all, my dear friend. George taught me by both practice and example how to be a thoughtful physician. I've been a member of the Endocrine Society since 1974, but my feedback pathway to endocrinology was kind of an open-looped one, since I was already committed to a cardiology fellowship. I was convinced, though, by John Nikoloff at USC to switch to endocrine. Anyway, I joined him in endocrine, and we published our paper in JCE on metabolic clearance rates, which no one has in this audience has ever read. I went on then to have a career in endocrinology that has been more fulfilling than I ever could have imagined. I'm still at it after all these years with no thought of hanging up my lab slips. For you younger doctors watching this, keep studying and learning, since in our special field, there's always something new, interesting, and challenging. And whenever you're in doubt, check the TSH. And I wish to give a special thanks to my wife, Margie, who has been my endocrine disruptor for more than 50 years.
The Roy O. Griepe Award recognizes meritorious contributions to research in the field of endocrinology. The recipient of the 2020 Roy O. Griepe Award for Outstanding Research is Dr. Eleftheria Moratos-Flyer, Professor of Medicine Emeritus at Harvard Medical School, Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston, and Director of Translational Medicine at Novartis Institute of Biomedical Research. Dr. Moratos-Flyer's research on energy balance defined the role of two new hormones in the development of metabolic syndrome. Her work is being translated and applied to help solve the obesity epidemic and its complications, including type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease. As one of the leading endocrine researchers in the U.S. today, congratulations to Dr. Moratos-Flyer.
Research is a team effort, and I would like to thank all the people who joined my research group as they were critical to our success over many years and multiple projects. My pursuit of a research career started with the faculty I observed a long time ago in the chemistry department at New York University. They were great role models. My mentors in medical school and subsequent training were all encouraging in my pursuit, and I would like to particularly call out Ron Kahn, with whom I worked for many years. I would also like to thank my family. I was very lucky that my parents immigrated to the United States, where I had access to an amazing education. My husband, Jeffrey Flyer, and I collaborated both as parents and research partners, and I think both endeavors benefited from our very different styles. I want to thank my daughters who recognized me as a data junkie and were comfortable with the way I balanced motherhood and running a lab. They never made me feel guilty and chose careers in medicine, forging their own way as clinician educators. I feel very lucky that I succeeded with both family and career. Thank you.
This concludes the presentation of our 2020 Laureate Awards recipients. Congratulations to all of our award winners. Please reach out to offer your virtual congratulations, and I hope we will have the opportunity to do so in person at ENDO 2022. Thank you again for all of the citators for recognizing the significant accomplishments of your colleagues from around the world. Just a reminder that nominations for the Endocrine Society's Laureate Awards are accepted year-round. For more information, please contact laureate@endocrine.org. Thank you and have a wonderful meeting.